What's up, friends? We are back again with another video. We are back to dive into oil filters. What makes these that dang gone turbocharged oil filters so different from the rest? Now, I told you before, I messed around and purchased the wrong one. Later on, I find out that there are two designs for the oil filter. Actually, three altogether, but one is a canister and two of them are paper filters. The two paper filters are different. One has the hole in it, and the other one has a spring plunger on the top. Well, the one with the hole in it, I think I still got it. Hold on. Okay, couldn't find it. But at any rate, the one with the hole in it is set up in a way where it still performs the same action, but the suction, the plunger is incorporated into the oil filter assembly housing. Whereas the one that I have specifically, the tube is in the housing, but the plunger is on the actual oil filter. And this is where the fun begins. So, what I have here is another oil filter that I pulled out. The one filter we already took apart, but this one, this is one that I believe this is the one that I actually purchased. Let's see. Yep. My lighting is kind of crazy right now. Let me see if I can improve this so you guys can see it. All right. MSL. That would be, oh man. That would be the MicroGuard. After my previous experience with MicroGuard, I did not want to leave this in the vehicle. So I bought this one, put it in, and the first chance I got to get another filter, I went and grabbed another filter and swapped them out. Now, I did change the oil early because I wanted to see the condition of the oil. But this filter is just, they kept wanting to give me the one without the spring, and I'm like, no, it's the spring. I went to multiple places and they kept wanting to give me the one without the spring. I had to almost give them the serial number to the vehicle. And I know we cut one up before, but I'm still not understanding what's so special about this and why is it that in most computers, parts computers, the first thing that pops up is the one without the spring, but the vehicles that's on the road are the ones with the spring? Now maybe it's just the version that I have, which sucks, because I have to really pay attention to what I say when I go to the parts store. Otherwise they'll give me the one that doesn't look like this. Even when I go online, you look it up, it wants to give you this one at the third or fourth scroll. That's when you find this one. But initially, they want to suggest the other one. But the tube isn't the tube is the same diameter, but it's not. The plunger is on the other one. It's on the little tube inside of the housing. So, I don't have my dedicated tool of destruction, so I'll just use handy screwdriver, and I'm going to try to cut this open. Now this one, note, compared to the last one that we broke open, this one has flaked off. There was a coating. Matter of fact, where's the, because I bought two new ones. Okay, left side, brand new one, coated. Right side, used one, uncoated. The used one was coated. This is how it looked once I pulled it out of the engine. So where did the coating go? Where did the coating go? It went into the engine. You put a spring-loaded device in the engine. You powder coated some type of coating. You lightly paint it for some stupid reason, and then you want people to put this in their engine. And as the engine heats up and the oil gets to flowing, for some reason the paint, the coating starts to flake off. So now I got that crap floating in my oil, hoping it don't clog nothing up, hoping that when it recirculates, it either falls to the bottom of the oil pan and stays there, or it gets sucked up and caught by the oil filter. So, I guess now is when we find out if anything got caught up by the oil filter. Let's proceed. This thing is so... I like the fact that it even though it don't have an inner core, a frame to keep it stable, it still doesn't fall apart. It doesn't collapse. It's pretty decently dirty for the length of time that I had it in there, but I'm not seeing any flakes. I'm not seeing any shiny bits. So where did the flakes go to? That's what I'm wondering. Where did the flakes go to? And I'm still wondering, when this gets sucked in, pulled down, the oil is supposed to go through there. That's not much of a hole. This is supposed to be the bypass. There's barely enough room for air to go through. So if I'm driving, at what speed does this open up, and how much oil am I actually getting to my engine? Maybe I'll break this one open. Yeah. Trying not to bump the camera. But that's irritating. Well, I got the spring. Plunger came out. There we go. That's what I want. Now this hole by itself is big enough for enough oil to flow through there and keep the engine lubricated. But when you put the plunger back in there, that restricts the flow of oil I don't know. I saw looked at one of those forums, and the guy was talking about, you have to use the exact one that came with the vehicle. You can't switch it out for the other one because it'll cause catastrophic damage to the engine. The other one has a big hole in it. It's a bypass, which means you're not going to get filtered oil. And then other people say that you, at a certain speed, you're not going to get filtered oil regardless, even if you use the one that you're supposed to use. Okay, I'm going to leave that argument alone. But as far as I'm concerned, I would make sure that this filter is changed and use the best filter you can afford. Do not cheap out and get something like a MicroGuard because it was on sale or it came with an oil change special. No, don't do that to yourself. I'm not feeling this, but this is the way the engineers designed it, so I gotta go with it. But that don't mean I got to use the cheapest version. No, I'm not gonna do that. As you've seen, I got a CarQuest in the back, and I was able to track down. I had to order a Wix. I've used the Wix filters. I've used 2 Wix filters on the Malibu. Varying results, but as a matter of fact, now, the Wix filter that I got from the Malibu, paper cartridge filter, little metal piece, keeps the holds the media together. It has the little, I don't want to call it a plunger because this one doesn't actually move. It doesn't actually move. It sits down this way, directly into the oil filter assembly. and then this part goes up into the cap. Now, at some point, if it gets plugged up, it's got these little ridges, these little spaces in this lip. That cone on the end, and as you can see, it also has a gasket, but you got enough space around it, around that cone, for the oil to flow back through there, even if it's not plugged up. When it's just regularly filtering the oil, as it comes through there, there's enough room for it to just flow. I like this design. Why the heck did GM redesign this motor and give us this crap? They gave us this with the little bitty, with this plunger in it, and once you put that in that hole, you don't hardly have any room to. You all see what I see. It's a little bitty crack of light. A little bitty crack of light. So, yeah, I even try to put it back in there the way it's supposed to go in there. If I can get my fat finger in there. I barely was able to get it to open up. It kept twisting. So it's got some flexibility to it to keep it from collapsing. That's nice. I can't get my finger in there. Oh well, I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about that. Wipe my fingers off. But you get the point. This one came with a cone and a plunger. This one came with a cone, no plunger. But they left enough room for it to flow through there regardless. This one is pressurized. The plunger gets pulled down and the oil is supposed to flow through it. Okay, makes sense. But for the life of me, I don't understand why they made it so damn small. Then, the most common version doesn't even have the plunger on it. So I'm thinking if it's the most common version, they changed it. They switched it out. But a lot of vehicles still have the old oil pump. Well, not oil pump. I shouldn't say oil pump. They have the same old oil filter housing. So, is it possible to change the oil housing to match the more common filter? Anybody know that? Has anybody done that? Changed the oil filler housing so that you can use the other filter? That would be nice to know. I would like to know this. So, leave a comment. Be respectful. I'm going to clean up my mess and maybe I'll see you out on the road.